Right now, the findings of our month-long examination of West Michigan home sales.
Houses that recently sold in your neighborhood, how do those prices stack up to a few years ago? And how do they compare to other communities across West Michigan?
24-Hour News 8's Tony Tagliavia crunching sales numbers now for weeks.
We found some communities where the average sale price is up more than 10% over the last 6 years. Tonight, we start with the 5 places where average prices have taken the biggest hit. To find those places, we examine price data, compiling and comparing to show you where your neighborhood stands. We obtained average sale prices from realtors groups in Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, and the Lakeshore, examining where prices are now and where they were in 2003 and 2004, before the bubble was at its most bloated, and of course, before it burst.
When the economy went, things got worse.
Across 97 communities in 8 counties, the biggest percentage drop came in a southwest Grand Rapids neighborhood from Wealthy Street south to the city line. The average sale price there has plummeted 72% over the last 6 years. It's Josie Zapata's neighborhood.
I think it's 3 of them that are really, no one lives in them right now.
She's held on to the home she bought more than 25 years ago, but a Realty Track map shows her street is a hotspot for foreclosures. The mailman can point out the empties, about 1 in 5 houses if you ask a man who lives just down the block on Andre Street. Those empties drive down the average sale price. So what's that price now? We found that over a 12-month period ending in March, it was below $20,000. Compare that to about $71,000 over the same 12-month period in 2003 and 2004. And we found that the large drops are not limited to urban areas. In fact, the second largest decline came in eastern Montcalm County. That's where we found an area of 4 townships with a percent drop of about 55. Rounding out the bottom 5, a neighborhood on the west side of Grand Rapids that saw this, about a 53% decline. Then down to a neighborhood on the east side of Kalamazoo that saw this, about a 51% decline. And finally, a southeast Grand Rapids neighborhood where we found the average price had dropped about 50%. A 50% drop or any drop in average sale price does not mean every house in the area has lost that much value, but at least some homes are selling for much less. Take this West Side house bought last year by investors at the Fulton Group for about $23,000.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of people who have lost their homes, and that's why the properties are selling for that.
$23,000 after the same home sold for $58,000 in 2004 and $97,000 in 2005.
We couldn't afford to buy these properties and renovate them and improve these neighborhoods if we were paying $100,000. The numbers just simply don't work for it.
The benefit of those price drops, investors like the Fulton Group can come in and renovate homes like this one on Fulton Street, putting value back into the neighborhood.
It's got beautiful character, the coffered ceiling.
But we wanted to know, what do the areas with the biggest drops have in common?
A lot of those neighborhoods had lower income to begin with, so they were stretching a little bit to get into the houses, or they were in jobs that may have disappeared.
And when job loss leads to foreclosures, banks want to sell the properties quickly. That can drive down sales prices of other homes nearby. Paul Isley students at Grand Valley State University analyzed sales data, concluding that if there are 5 foreclosed homes within 500 yards of your home, you'll see a 20% drop in sales price. If it's 20 foreclosed homes, the drop is nearly 40%.
What's affecting your neighbors certainly affects you. And we're seeing that right now.
Josie Zapata is familiar with foreclosure. Her son and his family moved in with her after they lost one of their 2 incomes. But this longtime Southwest Sider is hopeful and optimistic that the economy and the housing market will come back.
I love my neighborhood, and I don't think I'd ever move out of here. I've never had no problems.
Tomorrow night, we'll show you where average sales prices have actually increased over the last 6 years. And you can search all the data yourself. Right now, we put it all online along with this interactive map so you can look at the numbers you want to see. There's a link at the homepage at woodtv.com.